I'm Marilee Caruso. It's Wednesday, October 1st. Today, sleight of hand.
In the case of a necklace, for example, they will sometimes even hug, embrace the person.
How thieves are targeting jewelry-wearing seniors in our city and what you can do to protect yourself. Also today, from farm to table.
It's going to allow us to process more food and get more food onto the kitchen tables of Manitobans.
What a big donation means for the future of Harvest Manitoba. Plus, honoring the children who never made it home.
I'm very grateful for the strength and the resilience of all the elders who survived.
How Manitobans mark the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. A warning today about an alarming rise in jewelry distraction thefts in our city. And police are sharing what you need to be on the lookout for. Joining me now with those details is CTV's John Hendricks. So, John, who are these thieves going after?
Marilee, Winnipeg police say seniors who are alone, not fluent in English, and wearing visible jewelry are being targeted.
These individuals are very good at what they do, not only in the distraction techniques that they're using, but even identifying the quality of the jewelry that their victims are wearing.
Now, while these types of crimes often take place outside retail stores and in parking lots, police now say it's happening in residential areas, and in some cases, right on the victim's property. Last month alone, 3 of these incidents were reported to Winnipeg police, all in residential areas in the south end of the city. Now, this video, captured by a Ring doorbell camera, shows how quickly these types of crimes can happen, often without the victim even knowing. This incident, which took place 2 weeks ago in Hamilton, Ontario, shows how a woman is able to replace an elderly homeowner's genuine gold necklace with a fake one just by giving her a quick hug. Constable Chloe Chansey says, now while these suspects seem kind and friendly, they're actually wolves in sheep's clothing.
If they're able to put their hands on somebody else's hands, they have gifts sometimes, like the fake jewelry, to place into somebody's hand. You've got now a hold of their hand. They're able to manipulate and through sleight of hand and take that off. In the case of a necklace, for example, they will sometimes even hug, embrace the person, and that's that physical contact, close physical contact that we're talking about, are able to place the jewelry around somebody's neck while removing the necklace at the same time.
Now, one of the thefts here in Winnipeg happened on Bridgeland Drive, and it happened when a suspect attempted to hug a victim and managed to steal her bracelet. In another incident, a suspect placed fake jewelry in the victim's hand and stole 2 rings and a necklace that she was wearing. Now, the suspects in these latest incidents appeared to be South Asian and spoke Hindi.
So, John, how can people protect themselves?
You know, Marilee, police say that you should keep your jewelry hidden, and if you're approached, decline their request, disengage, and make a police report. Police are also urging victims to come forward and make note of the suspect descriptions and any other identifying details, such as license plate numbers.
All right, thanks for this, John. Manitoba Families Minister Nahani Fontaine's constituency office caught fire about a week after the building was vandalized. Just before 5 a.m. Tuesday, firefighters responded to reports of a blaze at a single-story office in the 700 block of Main Street. Winnipeg police later confirmed the location was Fontaine's office. When fire crews arrived, they found smoke coming from inside the building. Firefighters entered and about 30 minutes later had the fire under control. In an email, police say they were called to control traffic in the area when fire crews were dispatched. Police added the Major Crimes Unit is now investigating. No arrests have been made and no suspects have been identified. Apps like Uber and Lyft continue to grow in popularity, especially as a way to get from hockey games, concerts, and other events. But there are not any designated pickup or drop-off spots around venues, which is why the city wants to create new rideshare loading zones to address safety and traffic issues. The city is proposing 3 zones near Canada Life Centre and Burton Cummings Theatre. A total of 10 on-street parking spaces would become designated spots in the evening, and during that time, only rideshare vehicles would be allowed to stop for up to 15 minutes in the spots. A Public Works Committee report says council will need to amend parking bylaws for this to happen, and more rideshare loading zones could be established in the future. Meantime, the Public Service is recommending expanding parking restrictions on a busy stretch of St. Mary's Road during the afternoon rush hour. If this is approved, stopping will not be allowed there between 3 and 6 p.m. on southbound St. Mary's from Marion Street to Fermor Avenue. Restrictions currently in place begin at 3:30. The city says the extension would align with changes made in the spring to southbound St. Mary's from Fermor to Dakota. The Public Works Committee meets next Tuesday. Manitoba communities impacted by this year's wildfire season can now receive financial help from the government. The province has officially launched a disaster financial assistance program. Communities directly affected by wildfires are eligible for support, as are communities who incurred significant costs while hosting wildfire evacuees. The province says costs covered include preemptive preparation efforts, emergency response operations, recovery support, and long-term wildfire mitigation strategies. Applicants have until November 30th to make claims. More information about the program can be found online. Harvest Manitoba is eyeing a $20 million expansion, and a major donation today made it one step closer to becoming reality.
Beets, so many beets.
Giving more Manitobans access to local fresh food like these beets, potatoes, and green beans is the goal. Farm Credit Canada handed over $500,000 to Harvest today to expand its food distribution efforts across the province. It's the first chunk of a $20 million fundraising target to expand its facility and build a food transformation distribution center. Harvest Manitoba's president, Vince Barletta, says it will dramatically cut down on food waste and increase food security, something he says is essential as more Manitobans struggle to afford groceries.
It's going to allow us to process more food and get more food onto the kitchen tables of Manitobans. We're talking about a 30,000 square foot expansion of Harvest's existing facilities, and that's going to enable us to manage and process another 8 million pounds a year of food products from the prairies and here in Manitoba, and get it on the kitchen tables, serving tens of thousands of more Manitobans every month.
Barletta would prefer to stay at the Winnipeg Avenue location, but if that can't happen, it will look for somewhere else to build. A decision about that is set to be made in the next few months. St. Andrews Lock and Dam is shutting down for the winter in a couple of weeks. The dam is closing to boaters on Tuesday, October 14th at midnight. Public Services Canada says water levels on both the Red and Assiniboine will fluctuate in the Winnipeg area and north to Lockport as a result. The process could be sped up if temperatures drop drastically in the next 2 weeks. Government officials warn property owners on the two rivers and their tributaries should protect their properties. Officials also advise the graded areas below the dam could be closed if conditions become turbulent or dangerous. Once the graded areas are closed, they will remain so until spring. All right, let's bring in Colleen Brady now and get a first look at your Skywatch evening forecast. Boy, was it ever windy out there today.
It sure was. All part of a system that's making its way across the province. The action, though, is to the southeast of the city. I'll show you this here. We have this line of thunderstorms, non-severe, that are making their way out of Manitoba and into northwestern Ontario. Looks like it's quite a substantial rainfall as well. It will move along pretty quickly. There is still the risk of thunderstorms yet in Winnipeg and other parts of the province tonight. A very hot start to October today. Things are going to change. You knew that was going to happen at some point, but when? I will show you. Let's take a look through the Bathfitter Live Eye. Bathfitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years. I won't show you just yet because it's still so warm out there. I'll show you this though. Current conditions, 26 degrees, cloudy, feels like 31 with the humidex, and those winds, they are still strong and gusting from the south. The pressure is dropping and the humidity is 57%. Out in traffic, a live look at Portage Avenue. Traffic stopped at the light there, east and westbound in front of Polo Park, but one tie-up in a bad spot. Waverly southbound at Taylor, there's a stall in the curb lane, so expect delays for folks trying to make their way southbound down Waverly.
I want to make sure that this day and all children are recognized, and no one deserves to be forgotten.
Truth and reconciliation coming up, how Manitobans marked Orange Shirt Day.
Your morning just got a little brighter. Start your day with CTV Your Morning, and you could win $20,000. For your chance to win, watch CTV Your Morning Winnipeg, weekday mornings 6 to 9.
Winnipeg's top stories, breaking news alerts, and watch live. Download the CTV News app.
The U.S. is taking a 5% stake in a Canadian mining company. Lithium Americas is based in Vancouver, but is developing a lithium mine in Nevada. Lithium is a critical mineral used to make batteries for electric vehicles. Washington has started to pick up a stake in companies that it sees as critical to boosting the economy. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is down 13 cents to 71.73. West Texas Intermediate crude down to 61.39. Western Canadian Select is down over $1 to 50.39. And the TSX hit another record close, up 84 points today to 31.07. Those are your business headlines. I'm Morella Fernandez.
Market Watch is brought to you by Manitoba Blue Cross. Group health plans for any size business.
Manitoba's minimum wage has jumped up 20 cents today. It's now $16 an hour. The increase is based on Manitoba's inflation rate in 2024. Our province is one of 5 raising the minimum wage today. Saskatchewan, Ontario, Nova Scotia, and Prince Edward Island are also hiking theirs across the country. Nunavut boasts the highest minimum at $19.75 per hour, while Alberta's is the lowest at $15 an hour. Thousands gathered in Winnipeg yesterday for the 5th annual Orange Shirt Day Healing Walk and Powwow. It honors residential school survivors and the children who never returned home.
Just being a settler and an ally, I want to make sure that this day and all children are recognized and no one deserves to be forgotten.
The event began with a pipe ceremony at the Forks, followed by a healing walk to RBC Convention Center. Inside, dancers wore regalia passed down through generations, each piece telling a story of resilience and healing.
For me, I do this for myself. I also do this for my own healing. I also like to bring my family closer together with this regalia. It is a powerful outfit that I wear, and especially for my family.
My grandpa, he passed it down to me. It means a lot to me because it was used before I even got to use it. Now I wear it with pride and dignity.
The Southern Chiefs organization says Orange Shirt Day isn't just a moment of reflection, it's a call to action honoring the past while building a path forward through truth and healing. Survivors and community leaders also gathered yesterday to unveil plaques at the site of the former Assiniboia residential school near River Heights. 3 plaques in 7 languages describing the history of the school were unveiled. The ceremony marked the national historic designation of the school, which operated from 1958 to 1973. Executive Director of the Assiniboia Residential School Legacy Group shared a message of love with the community.
So I'm very grateful for the strength and the resilience of all the elders who survived. And, I pray for the souls and spirits of the youth and children who did not make it back. But I really am just so grateful for you guys. Thank you so much, survivors, for thriving and also still giving us that love.
More than 1,000 Indigenous children from over 80 First Nations were forced to attend the institution. Bert plays the Bert. We will tell you when Burton Cummings is coming back to Winnipeg. Spotlight is next.
Spotlight, sponsored by the Casinos of Winnipeg, presenting Honeymoon Suite with guest Lee Aaron.
Colleen Brady is back now for Spotlight, and he has a Winnipeg theater named after him, so it's only fitting he performs there.
I'd say so. Of course, we're talking about none other than Burton Cummings. Winnipeg-born singer-songwriter and former Guess Who frontman agreed to perform a minimum of 4 concerts in the facility that bears his name. Proceeds from his concerts will go toward the continued rejuvenation of the theater. Bert plays the Bert on November 13th. Cummings' performances at the theater in 2017 and 2022 sold out immediately. So for tickets, they go on sale Friday at burtoncummingstheater.ca.
Manitoba Theatre for Young People is launching its new season.
And they're kicking things off with a story that most Manitobans are all too familiar with.
The snowflakes were huge.
Gather tells the story of a town that goes into a deep freeze and everyone is stuck inside. So, two friends go on a mission to find one another and to rediscover their town.
The snow creates an environment in which people are a bit more removed from each other than they normally are, and removed, like our friendship, we don't get to see each other for a little while because of the snow, and so it's about how everyone copes.
Gather is recommended for children ages 5 and up. Performances take place in the newly renovated Richardson Studio Theatre, ideal for more intimate, up-close performances. For tickets, go to mtyp.ca.
Well, if you've got the midweek blues, we've got the cure.
We sure do. Blues guitarist Guy Davis is headlining the West End Cultural Centre tonight.
Well, that 61 highway is the loneliest road.
The two-time Grammy nominee has 20 albums to his name. Davis is also an actor, a composer, a scriptwriter, and incorporates his storytelling into his performances. Winnipeg's own blues icon, Big Dave McLean, is a special guest. The show starts soon at 7 o'clock. For tickets, head to wecc.ca.
The ultimate battle of good versus evil is going to come to a head this weekend at Centennial Concert Hall.
Does it ever? So grab your wands, merrily. The Winnipeg Symphony Orchestra is bringing the final chapter of Harry Potter to life. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 takes to the stage and screen as the boy who lived squares off with he who shall not be named in the finale of this epic film concert series.
You will walk into a massive concert hall here at Centennial Concert Hall, and there will be a full orchestra on the stage, and we are synchronizing the musical soundtrack live and in real time with a full symphony orchestra, the original music, with the film as you watch it.
The concert series runs Thursday through Saturday evening, starting at 7:30 each night, and there are still limited tickets available for each performance. Visit wso.ca for those tickets.
Yeah, such a cool experience.
It is, yeah.
Thanks, Colleen.
You're welcome. Your primetime lineup starts at 7 with Shifting Gears. A double shot of George and Mandy's First Marriage follows at 7:30, and catch The Amazing Race at 8:30 and The Floor. Well, that mops things up at 10. It's all right here tonight on CTV. A live look, sort of, if you can see that, down onto Donald Street, heading toward or coming from Confusion Corner. Very busy in both directions. Warm and windy out there, 26 degrees. I will show you when that will change coming up.
Women's clothing provided by RW & Company. Salon services provided by S&T Spa Salon. CTV Skywatch weather brought to you by South Beach Casino and Resort. Visit southbeachcasino.ca.
Well, it was an exceptionally warm, even hot end to the month of September in southern Manitoba yesterday. 12 communities across the south, including Winnipeg, set new heat records. Winnipeg reached 30.4 degrees. That easily surpassed the previous record that was set way back in 1989. Another hot day today to start off the month of October. Now, right now, Manitoba and into parts of Ontario, we're in what's called the warm sector. It's sort of that sweet spot in behind a warm front out front and a cold front yet to come through. So it's that warm area in between, and it's causing instability. So in our case here in the south, we have those thunderstorms that are now, you can see the change even in the last few minutes when I first showed you this off the top of the show, how fast these storms are moving. These thunderstorms are non-severe, but you can see quite a bit of rain moving into northwestern Ontario. So if you're around Kenora, look for that rain to continue until around midnight or so. Then it should start to taper off into the overnight hours. Also up in the far north, some rain coming through tonight too. Lynn Lake, you should see some up there moving through the Tuduli Lake area. Meanwhile, down here in the south, partly cloudy in Winnipeg and the surrounding areas. Looks like it'll be a little clearer for you out further into the southwest overnight and into Thursday morning. Meanwhile, that rain will continue to move across northern Manitoba, more focused into the northeast by Thursday morning. It will be another lovely day here in the south. Sunshine and temperatures getting well up above normal, well into the 20s once again. Then we get overnight into Friday, and then things start to change. There is the potential for showers during the day day on Friday, but there is a much greater potential when we get closer to the weekend. I'll show you that in a moment. For tonight, there is still a risk of thunderstorms this evening for Winnipeg, otherwise partly cloudy, down to 14. Those strong south winds ease up mid-evening. Sunny and 26 tomorrow, winds out of the west at 15 kilometers an hour. The UV index for tomorrow, Thursday, is 4 or moderate for Winnipeg. Then look at how things change. 25 on Friday, cloudy with a chance of showers. Showers likely Saturday, 20 degrees, a very strong chance of rain Sunday, and just 13. And then 11 to 12 degrees under a mix of sun and cloud Monday, Tuesday, and that will be just below normal for this time of year. This first weather photo is from Colleen. She went for a stroll out at Grand Beach. A beautiful day for that, she says, as you can clearly see for yourself. And also, the soybean threshing is going well, Dinah says, out in Fisher Branch, and the weather's cooperating there. Send us your weather photos to winnipegweather@ctv.ca.
Thanks, Colleen. A local photography studio is offering a small but powerful tool to help level the playing field for those looking for a job.
Don't worry about your expression. Let me just make sure these lights are looking really.
Today, 204 Photography in the Exchange District offered free headshots to people facing employment barriers, including new immigrants, asylum seekers, and people living with physical or mental disabilities. The studio provided up to 100 professional headshots at no cost. Each participant gets a professional image they can use for resumes, LinkedIn, and applications.
Everyone just has so much confidence when they're looking at these photos of themselves. They didn't know they could look that approachable, look that welcoming, look that confident, that when they're leaving, they know that they've got something in their portfolio now that's going to be on their LinkedIn or their resume or even on a website that's going to represent them in a way that they're really proud of.
The studio is working directly with local nonprofits to ensure the photos get to the people preparing to re-enter the workforce.
That's terrific.
Yeah.
That is a very
this day and age,
yeah.
It's kind of an essential
You need
tool.
every edge you can get,
That's
right?
True.
And that's certainly one that will help. Good for him for doing that.
Yeah,
great service.
Great work. All right, that does it for us this hour, but don't go far. We're back at 6 with more local news. Hope to see you then.